Hello students, today we are going to learn how to apply elementary transformations on the matrices. Okay, now what is the meaning of transformation? So it means that how to change the rows and columns as per the requirements. Okay, so the example. Now suppose I have a matrix. Let's denote it by A. As in the previous lecture, I had told that always the name of the matrix is represented by the capital letters. So I have a matrix 1, 0, -1, 3. Now, before applying the transformations, let's understand the meaning of R and C, rows and columns. What are they? So you know this horizontal presentation of elements is called as row. So this is the first row, so R1, this is second row, R2. Vertical arrangement of elements is columns. So this is called as first column, this is called as second column. Now this is the case of 2 by 2 matrix. Now if I have 3 by 3 matrix, so I will have R1, R2, R3, and for columns C1, C2 and C3, and like this. Okay, so suppose I have the operation of R1 interchange R2. Now what it means, in this double-sided arrow mark indicate interchange. So what we do for this operation? So the whole R1 is replaced by R2 and R2 replaced by R1. So look at this question. Okay, they are interchanged like this one. So R1 will go in the place of R2 and R2 will go in the place of R1. So this is the answer of interchanging. The first operation. Is it clear to you? Interchanging of the rows and columns. Okay, now we go for, suppose I want to interchange columns. So as we discussed for the row operations, interchanging of rows, same applicable with the columns. Okay, so matrix A. Now in this matrix we are going to interchange the columns, so C1 and C2. Now what we see here. Okay, so C2 is replaced in the place of C1, so it's 0, 3 and 1, -1. So this is the answer of column interchanging. Okay, so that is pretty clear. Now something important. Suppose we have a matrix. Okay, and that was the first part. Well, this one is A, this is B. Now suppose I go for the another matrix. I have A. It's a matrix of the order 2 by 3. Okay, and I want to go for the operation of 2C2. Okay, so C2 is your second column, so it is over here, right? So the operation says you multiply C2 by 2. So therefore A equal to so when we want to apply the second column by 2, it means that we apply this operation only for C2. That is, C1 and C2 remain unchanged. So C1 and C3 remain unchanged. Now what we do for C2? So in C2 each element is multiplied by 2. Okay, so in C2 we have 2 and 1. So each element, that is 2 and 1, both are multiplied by 2. So we get, this is 4 and this is 2. Okay, you got the meaning of the 2C2. So when we say any column or row is multiplied by a scalar, so that all the elements of that column or row will be multiplied by that particular scalar. Okay, we'll go for one more example. Suppose I have a matrix B. We can give any name. There is no restriction for the giving the names. I have a matrix, this one, and I want to go for the operation of minus 3R1. Okay, now how do we go for this one? So operation is for R1. So R1 is the first row, this one. So all the elements of this R1 should be multiplied by minus 3. So what about R2? So let's copy them as it is and then multiply R1 by minus 3. So all the elements of R1, that is 1, 0 and 2, are multiplied with minus 3. So minus 3, 0 and 2 multiplied with minus 3 will give minus 6. Okay, then we go to the next one. You got this concept, right? Now suppose I have another example, number 4. Now we go for a little bit higher order matrix. Give the name as C. It is 3 by 3. Okay, so the operation is R1 gives R2 minus R1. Okay, suppose we go for R2 plus R1. So what it means, R1 gives, the meaning of R1 gives is whatever you do the change that is done in R1. Okay, and what changes is expected? So we have to do this addition of R2 and R1. Okay, so in C, just a small correction, it is R1 plus R2. Okay, meaning is the same, addition has to be done, but whatever answer is written, that will be written in the R1, and on the priority side we write R1 as the first row, because over here I have written R1, that is the reason here we have written R1. Okay, so we are changing R1, right? So R2 and R3 will be copied as it is. Okay, now addition of R1 and R2. So R1 is this row. I will just mark with some other color. So this is my R1. Okay, and this is my R2. Okay, so I have to add these elements, but when we do the addition, it is done by the column way. Means when I do the addition, the addition of these two elements will be done. Okay, addition of these two elements will be done, and elements of these two will be done. So addition of 1 and 2. Okay, we have 1, we have 2. So in the addition is 3. So that is written in the place of R1. Addition of this minus 1 and 1 is 0 will be done in R1. And respective addition, whatever addition we do, we will write them as at the corresponding locations. So 3 and 0. So addition of 3 and 0 is 3 will be done over here. Okay, now suppose I have one more operation. C2 gives C2 gives C2 minus C3 or C1. Let's go for C1. So therefore C is equal to so how do we do it? So we are changing C2, right? So we are copying C1 and C3. Okay, now we again go to this original matrix. Okay, now from C2 we are going to subtract C1. Remember, from C2 we are going to subtract C1. So this is C1, this is C2, right? So let's do the subtraction from C2 C1. So first element of C2 is -1 and second element of first element of C1 is 1. So subtraction is for this respective elements. So इन दोनों का subtraction होगा. Okay, so -1 and -1. Okay, and that is going to be -2. So we will directly write -2. Okay, now another element, that is for here. C2 minus C1 is 1 minus 2. So 1 minus 2 is how much? -1. So answer is -1. Then next operation over here, it is C3 minus 3 minus 3. So 3 minus 3 is going to be 0. So this is the operation of C2 minus C1. You got the point? Okay, okay, now we go for number 5. Little bit tough. Now suppose I have another matrix A. So in A we have 1 minus 1 3, it is 2 1 0 3 3 1. It's the same one again. Okay, I just copied as it is. Now I want to go for the operation of R1 gives R1 plus 2R2. Okay, now try to understand the meaning of this operation. Okay, what it says that you first of all multiply this R2 by 2. Okay, and then whatever answer you get will be added with R1, and that whole operation answer will be written in the place of R1. That means we are going to change R1. So R2 and R3 will be copied as it is. So that's what I did right now. Okay, now let's do the operation in the rough part sidewise. R1 plus R2. So we are going to do operation for this two element. So 1 is for R1, 2 is for R2. So R1 plus 2R2 should be now written as 1 plus 2 into 2. You got the point? How I have written over here? R1 plus 2R2 means what? The first element of R1 and first element of R2 will be written like this one. Now if we simplify, so the answer of this is going to be 1 plus 4, that is 5. So my first answer which has to be written in R1 is 5. Okay, now we go to the next element operation, that is here. Okay, same application of transformation. I have -1, R1 as the -1 plus 2 into R2. Now in R2 I have 1. So -1 plus 2 is 1. So the answer is 1. Okay, then over here next it is 3 and 0. So what I write here is R1 as 3, 2 into next element of R2 is 0. Let's simplify. It is going to be 3. My answer is 3. So this is my W matrix obtained after applying the transformation of R1 gives R1 plus 2R2. Everybody got it? Now suppose I want to go for column operation. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, C3 gives C3 minus 2C1. Okay, we'll change the number also. We'll go for 3C1. So what we do? See. So first of all, we copy C1 and C2. So in C1 we have 1, 2, 3. In C2 we had minus 1, 1, 3. Copied. Okay, now we go for C3 minus 3C1. So C3 is over here. See, this is the whole column called as C3. This is C1. So we write the corresponding elements of C1 and C2. See, I'm writing over here. So in the C3, the first element, requirement of the first element, whatever we have, it is 301 and 123. So in C3 we have first element as 3. So I will circle mark like this too. Okay. So C3 is 3 minus 3 times C1. So C1 का first element is 1. So if you do the simplification, we are going to get 3 minus 3 equal to 0. So my first element will be 0. Okay. Now for the part. Now we go for the next elements. Now this is 2. If I apply the same operation, I should write C3 as 0 minus 3 times C1 as 2. So that looks like 0 minus 6 is minus 6. So my next element is minus 6. Okay. Now we go little bit next part. Now we have this 3 and this 1. So what we do? So it is 1 minus 3 times 3. So that is 1 minus 9 is minus 8. So my answer is minus 8. So this is my new matrix object. Is it clear, all of you? Okay. Okay, so this is the explanation of transformations. So I suggest you to practice more and more on this kind of operations, because what the next part we have, that is conversion of a matrix into upper triangular, sometimes lower triangular, sometimes identity matrix. All these transformations, all these operations will purely depend on this kind of calculations. You must be very thorough with this kind of calculations. Okay, so as much you practice, that much will be easier for you. Otherwise this topic is going to be very tough. And before doing this topic, remember one thing: you should be very good at the numbers. Okay, so sometimes it's possible that 1 plus 2 is written as 2 only, right? So whenever you for that suggestion, for that kind of operation, I will suggest whenever you do this kind of operation, you talk to yourself. That is 1 plus 2. Speak like this: 1 plus 2 is 3. So a little bit lesser chances of mistake. Am I clear with this one? Okay, so I'm stopping this one. We practice this kind of operations, then we will go for next part. Okay, see you, bye.